Now, if you ain't never learned anything from my videos, the one thing I do want you to take with you is always remember, inside of prison, anything can happen. Something always happens. You never know what it's going to be or who it's going to happen to. But one thing I will tell you is inside of prison, you see the most bizarrest things, the craziest situations go down right in front of you, and either you're there front and center or either you're a part of it. For this video here, I'm going to be talking about how an inmate tried to smother another inmate with a pillow inside a prison.
Same time of the week, better be there. Have my people send a message, make sure that they're there. Time for me to collect, bring the shit over here, cause you can tell them my face, don't make me come over there. I run up in your room, put my shank in your neck, swear to God I wet you up, better show me respect. I'm hitting licks like nothing, break bread with dogs. Putting on for Eastside, Davey, this K-fraud, it's a robbery. Heard what I said, I got some names I won't say. Most of them dead, for that tune you get, there's a price on your head. Take the shit out your locker, throw it all on my bed. You got a daughter back you up, on care what you click. 2 lockers to fit both y'all shit. See me in the cut jamming, smoking the rip, getting tatted with the money that your people are sent. See on the streets I would've bust you, but in prison I come cut you.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If this is your first time tuning in over here on K-Fraud TV, my name's Frog, and almost everything I talk about has to do with prison or jail. Because I want people to know what to expect if they find themselves locked up. Or if you got a loved one in there and you don't know what they could be going through or what they're dealing with. My video's here to explain and let you know through the experiences and things that I've seen firsthand while I was serving time when I was in Florida prison. All right, now for this video here, I'm gonna be talking about how an inmate tried to smother another inmate with a pillow. But it's kind of crazy, the plot twist and how everything goes down, because it isn't just your average, smothering. All right, now like I said in the intro, you never know what you're gonna see inside of prison. You never know what's gonna happen, who it's gonna happen to. But one thing about it, inside of prison, not just in Florida, all around the world, there is things going on every single day. Not just one incident, not just 2, not just 5, not just 10. So many you can't even count. There's multiple things going on a day-to-day basis inside a prison all around the world. And every prison is different. Some are more harsh and more severe, and some are more soft than others. It just depends on who you land there with, because at the end of the day, it isn't the institution that's killing people. It's the people inside of the institution that's killing people. So if you land there with the wrong people, the wrong crowd, you might be in harm's way. But if you land there with the powder puffs and the people that tuck their tail, don't want no problems, the check-ins, the PCs, then you might, be able to go through your bid with no problems. All right, you can never truly say how prison's going to be when you get there, because everybody's bid and experience is totally different. And just because it was sweet the first time don't mean it'll be sweet the next, or just because it was harsh the first time and ratchet and scary the first time doesn't mean it's going to be the same time you go next time. You get what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into the story, and I want to let you know off rip, between the 2 individuals that ended up getting into this situation, it gets real grimy and slimy. All right, so we had these 2 inmates that were at my compound at the time, and you seen them everywhere together. They hung out 24/7. You get what I'm saying? And what it was is they were cousins. Now I will say this: when you're locked up, or shit, the neighborhood I'm from, let's just say, when you run into people, everybody says they're cousins. You get what I'm saying? Everybody swears they're related. They be like, oh yeah, that's my cousin, that's my cousin. A lot of them be capping. Just, you never know though. But inside of prison, you'll run into a lot of people, especially people that are black, a different race. They're my cousin, they're my cousin, they're my cousin, And at the end of the day, you don't really know if they truly are cousins or not. But for this situation, there were 2 cousins, and they were really cousins. You get what I'm saying? Like, same, like his mom was his aunt. You get what I'm saying? Like real deal cousins, like inside their photo albums, they had pictures of each other on the streets together, their family, like get-togethers and everything, and it kind of grew up near each other and like in the same household and everything, So, even though they were just cousins, they were more like brothers. And being in prison together, landing at the same institution, kind of makes it to where, it feels good to have somebody there that you're closer with, So these dudes were always together, 24/7. I'm talking about every time you see one, you see the other. If one got no problem, the other one was going to back him. Or, if, his problem was his problem. That's just what it was. So one night, out of nowhere, one of the inmates, decide to get up. After a while, they once they got, their feet down on the compound, made everything good, they ended up getting put in the same dorm. And, you know, shit like that. When you got pool and the guards fought with you, you know, they know what's going on, or they know you're related, or they just want to do you a solid favor, you know, they'll move you around. You get what I'm saying? So they managed to where after a while they were in the same dorm. So one of them gets up in the middle of the night, and when he got up in the middle of the night, you know, the other one was sleeping, and he jumps on him with the pillow and was smothering him, trying to kill his own cousin, right? So when you think about it, you're like, damn, like, after everything you just said about these two, why was he trying to do that? What made him want to do that, you know? I'm going to tell you what went around on the compound first, what everybody said the reason was why he tried to smother and kill his own cousin was. So a few days prior to that, them boys had gotten an argument, right? They got in an argument because they used to share each other's, you know, commissary. It was coming from the same family, you know, like he can go in his locker, he can go in his locker, you know. So you'd see them boys arguing and shit here and there, you know, going back and forth. Like, man, you ate all the tunas, and or man, I told you not to sell the cookies. Why you sell the cookies? Or I told you, man, them chips were mine. I don't know why you got rid of the chips. You know, typical like household problems that you would have being around somebody you're related to. You know, when you're in the house, you know, who ate all the leftovers, or damn, who drank all the Kool-Aid, you know, type shit that you would deal with a family member on the streets. They did this so much that you would see it. You know, you could be on the rec yard and they could be standing in line at the canteen window, and they'll be standing there, and next thing you know, they'll get something, and then one will be eating it, and then he'll share with him, and then he'll get up, and then he'll be like, man, why you eat it all, man? And you'll just hear them, you know, arguing and yelling and shit, which is like how family is. You get what I'm saying? They don't mind eating it after each other or drinking after each other. They're family. They know each other from the streets, you know? So they were known for that. You get what I'm saying? You would literally see one of them in the chow hall, you know, wanting something else off the other one's tray, and then he would give him what he wanted off his tray and what he wanted off. You know, they would always trade and give each other shit because you know that's your family. You know what he don't like. You know, if we got vegetables on the tray, you know he ain't gonna eat his vegetables. You get what I'm saying? So like, without even asking him, he could be sitting there talking to the person next to him, and his cousin will lean over the table and start scooping all of his corn and carrots and shit on his tray. You know, because he knows his cousin, you know, doesn't eat that shit, doesn't like it. He gets it from him anyways. So it's kind of like, let me get it before someone else tries to get it from you. You feel me? That's that, like, the bond and relationship they had. You get what I'm saying? And then when they got on the phones, you'd see both of them there. You're like handing the phone off and shit like that. They both be sharing the phone and stuff. Some guards would trip, some didn't. You know what I'm saying? They don't want two people on the phone at a time. But they were able to, what's up, auntie? Or, hey, mom? You know, they were... You know, the family had to feel good to know that there was two of their relatives with each other, you know, because you never know what your family member's going through inside a prison. You never know if they're getting picked on, if they're getting bullied, if they're getting, you know, you never really know what's going on. But so it makes you feel probably a little better and sleep easier at night to know that they're not alone. They're in there with somebody. They're in there with a relative, somebody that, you know, is close to them, right? So when this shit first hit the fan and he tried to smother him in the middle of the night, you know, when it first went down, I thought it was like a joke. But what it was is he literally, you know, when he tried to smother him, he was really trying to kill him. He wasn't like just trying to like pick on him, or just, they didn't get no argument or anything like that, you know. So the compound was saying that them boys got into it over the little situation a few days ago when they were arguing about canteen items and stuff. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, bruh finally snapped on his cousin over some canteen. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you see all types of crazy things inside a prison. So it's like, this is one thing I wasn't expecting. You know, I wasn't expecting this to happen between these two individuals over canteen. As close as they are, how related they are, how far back they go, how they grew up together. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking like, you know, prison is a crazy place, because the one way you're not thinking of something to go down is the one way it goes down. So in my mind, I was like, damn, since I wasn't thinking of that, I can't believe that's really what it was. And I really started to believe that, you know? So next thing you know, FDLE, which is like the police, you know, the Federal Department of Law Enforcement, or the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, whatever you want to call it, they came there and started questioning inmates, asking inmates about these two. You get what I'm saying? Asking them what, you know, their type of bond was, their type of relationship, how'd you see them act and stuff like that. Because when the situation went down, One got put in confinement, the other one got put in the infirmary, and he never woke up. You get what I'm saying? So he was like comatose. He was like in a coma, you know, like he was like he was sedated or whatever they did. If they put him to sleep, sedated him or whatever, he just didn't wake up, you know. So the whole compound thinks he died, you know. That's the word. The guards are, you know, throwing out whatever pieces they want, so word goes around, you know, everybody's thinking he died, and they're thinking this is why it happened, etc., etc. So when the FDLE comes around and starts questioning people, wanting to know why he did it, why would he kill his relative, you know, the way they were wording it sounded like he was already done, like he was already, you know, flatlined and he was gone, you know. So I remember they didn't just do just the single dorm. They went around to different dorms and started asking everybody. It's like every inmate needed to be like viewed and needed to get their opinion, you know. It was like a sheet. They made us look at a sheet and put like yes or no, check mark yes or no, you know. They didn't have time to physically, you know, ask us questions one-on-one, everybody. They did select few, you know, but they made us all fill out this sheet, you know. And I remember reading the sheet and it says, did I know such and such and such and such, yes or no? Was such and such and such and such cool with each other, yes or no? You know, it was kind of like investigating, and you know, it was like interrogating everybody without actually having us all there asking every single person, you know. But the couple that they did take into the back and actually take time to ask them, it took them like 5 days to finish asking everybody face to face, people who might have heard something or who might have knew more than that. The questions they ask on paper, they might have knew more than that, you know what I'm saying? So it took them like 5 days to finish viewing everybody. So when the word finally comes out that the other, you know, inmate isn't gone, that he's just in the infirmary, you know, recovering, the cousin's being charged with attempted murder, you know, stuff like that. Once that actually came out and got around the compound, more and more info started getting leaked, and it only took with one guard. So one guard knew what the real story was. He told someone and it just spread like a wildfire. Next thing you know, everybody on the compound's talking about it. Now, before I actually throw it out there of what the reason was why the cousin did this, I want to tell you a little bit about the family. Now, one day we were in the dorm hanging out vibing, and I remember them calling me up to the phone, and they put me up on the phone and they asked me if I heard this song. They were like, man, you heard about that new funk? Boy, that shit's killing the streets right now. And I'm listening to it over the phone and everything like that, and the dude's like, grandma, put the you know, and I'm just talking, you know, I'm just hearing the song, and they're talking, they're laughing, you know, everything seemed cool and kosher, you know, family-wise, and, you know, everything just seemed like these two dudes were enjoying prison. They were having fun inside of prison. You get what I'm saying? And you wouldn't think that they would harm each other, but, you know, you never know at the end of the day. So what it ended up being is, when the truth finally came out, is the one cousin tried to smother the other cousin with a pillow due to a life insurance plan. You see what I'm saying? And apparently the family on the streets was in on it. He was supposed to inherit some money because some part of his side of the family passed away and left him bread, and it was in his name or something like that. So they were like talking about it. I don't know how they were talking about it. He had to been getting on a cell phone behind the other one's back, because you can't talk about it over the prison phone, obviously, or whatever it was. So he kind of came up with this plot with his family that he was going to do that to him inside a prison and take his life so they can take the money, like swoop it up under him. You get what I'm saying? So when it finally all came out, I'm like, damn, you know, that really opened my eyes, because at the end of the day, it's like money brings the demons out. You get what I'm saying? So for him to do that to his own relative, you know what I'm saying? And who's in there with you, going through the most struggle you probably have ever had in your life. You know, you're on the other side of the state with someone that you know from the streets that you was raised with, and you literally are going to try to smother them, you know. And the one who was doing the smothering, he had a longer sentence than the one who got, you know, the pillow smothering done to him. So I guess he felt like whatever he broke down and was speaking to with his part of the family, that if he does this, you know, he'll be straight the rest of his bid or whatever. He'll have money, whatever the case may be, you know. So he tried to take his life, but little did he know in the beginning, I guess they didn't tell him, that he survived. He was just in a coma, like I said. He didn't actually take his life like he was trying to. You see what I'm saying? And what was crazy to me is, once they separated them and put him in confinement and transferred him wherever, and then hit him with an ad charge, so he probably went to the outside, jail, like whatever county it was, his actual jail, to get a rearrest number, to get an actual new case put on him. The other one, who was in the infirmary, they kept him at my institution to recover for a little while, like he wasn't waking up and stuff. And then when he finally woke up, I'll never forget, the guards were wheeling him around in a wheelchair around the compound and stopping at each dorm to let him give daps and, say what's up to everybody that was cool with him and stuff like that. And he just couldn't believe, that his own cousin did it to him. It was like, he just remembers waking up, when he went to sleep, everything was normal. They ate, were vibing and shit. Wakes up, he's in a wheelchair being pushed around by guards or whatever now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally different. And he couldn't believe the fact that that's who tried to do something to him like that. You get what I'm saying? He literally, he wasn't all the way there 100%, because he was asking people where his cousin was. Where's such and such? And then they're like, remember, he ain't here no more because of, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Like, he was still trying to catch up from being under for a little while. You get what I'm saying? And it just opened my eyes, man, and let me know people do the craziest shit about money, And if he would have succeeded, it would have been a come up. But damn, you crossed someone that was closer to you than anybody. You get what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, on the streets, the two parts of the family had to divide. Because when something like that happens, you can't even trust that side of the family now, if you think about it. Her son or his son tried to take your son out. His son or her son has a new charge for trying to murder your son inside of prison for his money that he was left. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you can't trust them. You can't even trust. It literally split that family into two. I would think it would. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was my son that survived, I'm done with that side of the family. You get what I'm saying? And you would expect that other part of the family to be done with you too if it was your son that did that to theirs. You get what I'm saying? And it just shows, no matter how close you are, no matter how long you know someone, no matter how blood related or not, shit don't matter. You got to be careful around the people you're around. They say blood is thicker than water. You feel me? But blood's also harder to clean up, if you think about it. So at the end of the day, just because someone's your blood doesn't mean nothing. You never know who's plotting on you. You never know who's going to try to pull a stunt like this on you. Now imagine how that part of the family would feel if their loved one, passed away. So you find out, boom, we lost one and another one's got a murder charge. Make you wonder, why'd he do that? How? I don't get what was going on in his mind. So at least one lived, the other one still caught the charge, instead of it being a murder, still, attempted murder. You get what I'm saying? But he'll get out one day. Now I wonder how it's going to be then. How's it going to be when they bump heads on the streets then? You see what I'm saying? Me, if I was the one that woke up all banged up and damaged from the coma or whatever, and I found out that's what bruh did to me, I'd take some of that same money he was after and I'd put a hit on him in his next institution. I'd get him wet up. That's what I would do. Why risk him coming back to finish me off? He was already trying to kill me. Now he's going to try to finish me off because he's mad he caught that more time. He's hot that he didn't get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to blame me for it. Blame me because he got an attempted murder charge. Even if it was a murder charge, he'd still blame me for it if I didn't make it. So I might as well use the system to my advantage while I'm in there and get his ass touched while we're back there, while we're still locked up. That's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to come on here and share it with y'all and get y'all's opinion and ask y'all if y'all have seen anything like this. Have you ever seen a family member do something like that to another family member? Now, take it back a little bit. Probably before they went to prison, they were probably close as hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being in prison, that type of environment, turns switches and plays with your mind, turns you into somebody you're truly not. You get what I'm saying? I've known the coolest people, coolest individuals, and go to prison, that switch turn on. Next thing you know, they become the creepiest people I've ever met. They're slime balls. They're crooked. You know what I'm saying? They'll get over on anybody. They're not who they once were. You see what I'm saying? That type of environment kind of puts you in survival mode, and it makes you think and do things that you weren't gonna think or do before. You see what I'm saying? Even the people you care about. You know, after a while, you're so used to surviving in there, doing creep shit to individuals and seeing people do creep shit, that it's kind of like you blend in with it. You're like used to the creepness going on, and if you ain't with it, you know, then you're gonna get rolled over on. So now, next thing you know, you're so used to being around those messed up ways that you start doing that shit to people. And the next thing you know, you do it to people who you care about, because you don't even look at them like you care about them no more. You're looking at them like somebody else. You see what I'm saying? And it plays tricks on your mind. You feel me? That's how I feel like prison does it. So I want to come on here and share the story with y'all, and y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all seen something like this with relatives, if y'all seen relatives try to take each other out or anything like that while locked up, drop it in the comment section. That's what it's there for. That's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will say, about now, I think the other dude who caught the attempted murder, he didn't probably get that much time. He probably getting out now, or he's probably getting out soon, if anything. So if he didn't get dealt with while he was in there, you never know how it's gonna go. You feel me? But like I said, that's all I got for y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only I Am My Team Frog.